This mod might be one of the most accurate Windows 10 to Windows XP modifications I've seen this year. Hi everyone, I'm Everything Windows and this is Project Luna. Looking briefly at the installation process, it uses an unchanged Windows 10 setup. The installation time is pretty quick, 10 minutes inside of a virtual machine. And from there, we can get to the desktop. Here we are on the desktop of Project Luna. At the first glance, you might notice that the background isn't what we used to seeing on a Windows XP installation. It should be Bliss, right? And I know some of you might say something like, but why doesn't it use Bliss as the desktop background? This isn't accurate, cancel this mod! First of all, shush. Second, look at the Windows version applet, aka WinVer. It clearly tries to replicate Windows XP Professional x64 Edition Service Pack 2. And if you don't know already, Windows XP has so many children. Well, not the Windows XP has children and Windows XP Vista dies type of stuff. That's a whole different thing. What I mean is, Windows XP has so many additions and derivatives such as Windows XP Professional, Home Edition, 64-bit Edition, x64 Edition, Media Center Edition, Tablet Piece Edition, Embedded Point of Service, 64-bit Edition version 2003, and so many more. Okay, so let's get back on track. This mod is trying to replicate the Professional x64 Edition Service Pack 2. And if you compare it to the actual copy of the OS that I have here, you can see that the default background is also the Windows XP image, not Bliss. Let's continue with the desktop. There are only like 3 icons. Welcome to Project Luna, Luna Configurator, and Recycle Bin. Pretty simple. The taskbar is also simple with just your normal Windows XP taskbar items, although with no quick access. Opening the start menu, there's one detail that I lock my eyes on. The internet and email shortcut, which is actually bold now, not the fake or the pseudo one like in Windows Experience and other Windows 10 to Windows XP modifications. This one is actually the real default Internet Explorer and Outlook Express. Although there's one shortcut missing. Connect to, which is present in the original Windows XP x64, but I will pass on this one as the start menu items also varies between editions and derivatives of Windows XP. Next up, Internet Explorer. Opening it from my computer, let's just say it's strikingly accurate. Yeah, from the command bar down to the task pane. The view options are nice, but the task pane's icon for view system information is a monitor in here, not a check mark in the node as in Windows XP. But that's okay. Opening the C drive, it doesn't have the "oh no, don't open this" type of warning as the original Windows XP has, but that's okay, I don't really mind about that. But another detail that I pick in here is from the task pane. The option for publish this folder to the web is missing. It's changed to include selected folder in library, which is actually an option that you might see in Windows 10. Navigating through the folder feels like this is Windows XP. But what about if you want to search for a file or a program? Well, you can utilize the search button on the command bar that opens Windows Search 4.0 that already displays all files inside it. It feels like the look of the feature is similar to an application, right? Well, turns out this is the Everything application rebranded as Windows Search 4.0. Next, Control Panel. It looks like what we see in Windows 7, although it's customized to follow Windows XP design, and there is no option to change it to category view. You have to go up one directory, or go to the address bar and remove the all control panel items to switch to category view. And now this is the one that I'm familiar with. Apart from that, looking at several applets, some of them are what you see in Windows XP like date and time, internet options, phone and modem, and taskbar and navigation. And some of them are from Windows 7, such as default programs, fonts, power options, and sounds. I personally don't have any issue with the Windows 7 applets because potentially due to limitations, not all applets are changed to look similar to what we see in Windows XP. When it comes to customization, this mod comes with 3 window themes in the Themes tab: the default blue, olive green, and silver. Desktop backgrounds are from Windows XP, but screensavers are not. Those are from Windows 10. If you ever feel like you want to go to the Appearance tab, well, don't. It's full of placeholders. Just change the window theme from the Themes tab instead. Okay, I know some of you were actually using Windows XP back in the day without any internet or really just explored the OS on the family computer in the living room. And I bet some of you also played around with Windows XP's games. And here we have all the games from Windows XP. For example, 3D Pinball. But for some reason, the window layout is nowhere to be seen. It's just white. There's only an issue with this specific game though. There are other games that are included too. This is just an example. As for pre-installed applications in this mod, there is Internet Explorer, well, Mozilla Firefox actually. You can navigate to modern websites using this customized Firefox, such as my YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And Modpedia, a wiki for all Windows mods and transformation packs, which I highly recommend you to contribute to. If you open About Firefox, it shows up as Internet Explorer 6. You have to go to About Support to know the real Firefox version, which is version 115 ESR, which stands for Extended Service Release, so you don't have to worry about browser support. Another pre-installed application is Windows Media Player, version 10 to be exact. You can play any media that you would expect to with the program, such as this music. And don't worry about basic applications such as calculator, notepad, paint, character map, phone dialer, command prompt, and many other applications. If it's on Windows XP, it should be in here too. Task Manager has been reverted to what you see in Windows XP with a simpler user interface and user experience. As for Windows XP applications, there are several applications I want to show you. Well, first of all, the famous Windows Movie Maker, where you can make your own home movie with all your creativity in hand. Jeez, I don't remember I ever used this program when I had my XP computer, but I remember that it was included. You can view your images using Picture and Fax Viewer, and view email using Outlook Express, which I still remember when my mom tried to set up an Outlook account in there and unfortunately never succeeded. Oh yeah, and Windows XP Tour. Is it included in this mod? Absolutely.
Welcome to Windows XP from Microsoft, the new version of Windows that brings your PC to life. Experience the best. Experience Windows XP.
There are several quality of life additions in this mod, such as the Alt Tab interface for multitasking and security option that can be accessed by pressing Ctrl Alt Delete, which was originally not in Windows XP as far as I remember. This incredible mod has become a reality thanks to Patrick BTP and all of these people. One of those is Travis. Yes, the creator of Windows Experience, one of many people who came up to cook one of the best Windows mods in recent days. And another one of those is Vaporvance, who created Lunar 10, one of the most accurate Windows XP window theme for Windows 10. And also, shout out to everyone here. Since this is Windows 10, there are several applications and features that are inherited from Windows 10, such as System Restore, Windows Context, Remote Desktop Connections, and Snipping Tool. And for the sake of accuracy, Windows Snapping or Error Snap, Minimize All Windows or Error Shake, and window preview or arrow peek are disabled in this mod. You can enable error snap with Luna Configurator on a desktop, where you can also customize several things such as your username, account picture, password, and more depending on your choice. When I enable error snap, well, yeah, it looks like Windows 7's version, which is okay. If you ever want to use the Windows 10 shell, you can by navigating to c:/windows/project luna/utilities and running the 10x batch file, and then you can get the Windows 10 taskbar, start menu, settings, and much more back. If you then want to switch back to Windows XP shell, you can navigate to the same folder and run the xpx batch file. However, there are things that I want to point out in this mod. If you look at the start menu, accessibility and entertainment folders are just empty, and help and support doesn't work. But no worries, because Patrick already noticed these problems and will fix it in later version. I feel like throughout the time, Windows modifications and customizations have evolved very quickly, especially in recent years. I really appreciate all the people who made this possible, from window blinds to Rectify 11. Who knows what the Windows modifications community will come up with next.